good morning or afternoon or evening wherever you are. I'm Fleur and welcome back to my little corner of the internet. I'm really glad that you're here and I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you're comfortable and ready for today's video. In today's video, I want to talk to you about sleep and my sleeping habits and things that have helped me to create healthier sleeping habits and therefore much better sleep. I'm just a friend telling you what worked for me, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Also, if you are sensitive to advice and it's not relaxing to you, I would recommend just watching a different video. But I figured that we all turn to ASMR for different reasons, but I know that a huge reason is sleep, and I do believe that there are a lot of things that can be done to improve your sleep. Keep in mind that what I'm going to be talking about are habits that I've curated over a course of a year and a half. I would say I think the last year and a half I've been a lot more conscious of my sleep due to my burnout and recovery, of course. And it has made such a huge positive impact on my life to get on top of my sleep. But it's impossible to change all your habits at once, right? Just try things out. I fall out of my habits all the time as well. We're all just humans, so I just hope that you are not putting too much pressure on yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Before we get into the rest of this video, I would like to take a moment to thank the sponsor, which is Aura, the meditation app. I've actually been a member of Aura since 2022. I've used them every day almost, and I actually manifested this collaboration in a Patreon video December last year. I would love to work with Aura. A meditation app or something is something that I would love to collaborate with. As you can probably tell, I am super excited to have them as a sponsor for this channel. Aura is kind of an all-encompassing wellness app. It has meditation, it has one-on-one coaching, it has breathwork, spiritual things, sleep-related content, background sounds, anything that you could possibly want. And what I really love about Aura is that you can really pick and choose what you like. There are hundreds of coaches and therapists on the platform. I really enjoyed learning what worked and didn't work for me. It has actually really inspired me to do my meditation teacher training, which made me confident enough to do my guided sleep meditations on this channel. And meditation generally has just been such a powerful tool for me in improving my mental health and improving my sleep. I meditate every morning using Aura almost all the time, and I used to use them every night for guided sleep meditations or yoga Nidra. So if this is something you are interested in, you can join me on a 30-day meditation challenge. The first 500 people who sign up through the link in my description box get a free trial and 25% off a membership. Genuinely, I would really recommend gifting this to yourself. I'm so glad that I gifted this to myself back then, and I'm still enjoying it so much. So thank you so much, Aura, for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you so much, and let's get on with the rest of this video. Okay, so I'm currently reporting to you from a cabin in Tinkriset in Norway. I'm on vacation, but I feel like this is the perfect moment for me to talk about sleep. When I wanted to make this video, I wanted it to be very structured and very clear, topic-wise, what I was going to be talking about. However, that makes me nervous, and I just want to share with you what helps me as a friend. So, that's what we're gonna do. So, you're on vacation with me now in the cabin. I got myself a very touristy mug at a little souvenir shop by a waterfall in Vos. And we're just going to chit-chat about sleep, and maybe you are falling asleep in the meantime, which would be very meta of you, but yeah. I hope this might help someone out there, and it's never wrong to try things. So, I think getting to the point of sleep is one thing, and getting to sleep is something else. So, there are a lot of things that contribute to my sleeping quality, and that varies to my general health, my mental well-being, how much movement I got in that day, how my body is just feeling and doing, if I have pains or not, you know. You always change, your body always changes, so what works and what doesn't work will change. And therefore, for me, my sleeping habits and stuff change all the time. I think one of the biggest things that I would give as a tip to anyone out there who has been struggling for a long time with sleep, it would just be to get your blood work checked out by a professional. There are professionals for reasons. But for me, I get a lot of migraines. It runs in my family. It's a hormonal thing, but it's also stress related. And it's also got to do with my magnesium. So I take extra magnesium every day. And that also helps to produce melatonin, which is your sleeping hormone. So even doing that, taking magnesium, affects my sleep. Then there's also movement. If I've had a day where I've been laying around a lot because I've been fatigued, or even if I'm not fatigued and I'm not moving much, especially if I have been sitting on my bed during the day, I will just have a much harder time falling asleep. By the way, I'm looking everywhere, but that's what happens when I talk and think at the same time. It's very difficult to do. But so even going for a walk after dinner, if I know that I've been at home all day, those kinds of things work. Or doing yoga before bed is a huge help. Just to stretch your body, move it a little before you step into bed. Keeping my bed as my space of sleep, so not working from my bed or eating on my bed, for example, or just chilling during the day. I do that sometimes. I spent most of last year in bed, and so getting out of the habit of being in bed is hard sometimes. But I have a better night's sleep when I haven't been in my bed during the day, or not as much as I would have liked to be in bed, you know? So that's something that maybe you can try out if you live in a small space. For example, just a small room. I would really recommend sitting on a different side of your bed during the day. Just, I don't know, making your sleep space your sleep-only space just helps your brain to associate, you know, we're in bed now, we're going to sleep now, and it will help you get into the mindset of sleep a lot more. So those are things off the top of my head that help me. I think if I have had a stressful day, it's extra important for me to journal or to talk to a person about it, but not too late in the evening, because then I'll go into overthinking mode. I am a chronic overthinker. It just is something that I do a lot, but I think I've gotten pretty good at catching myself. It takes a lot of self-awareness to not overthink, but it is important and very valuable to catch yourself and to reframe the pathway you're taking in your brain, you know. For me, it really helps to have a bedtime routine and to have some rules for myself. Me and my friends always say this thing of nothing serious after 9 p.m. So when I'm in bed and I would still be on my phone texting a friend about some situation and it's after 9 or however late, but before I go to bed, but in bed, I'll just take it with me into my sleeping time, my unwinding time, and it just takes me longer to get to sleep. One thing for me has also really been that I've really felt the value of sleep and how important it is. Obviously, it's super important. We rationally all know this, but you have to recharge your battery, and I think that it's one of the top 3 things to prioritize in your life is just your sleep. And I didn't mention basics like having a routine, having a set bedtime and wake up time, and having a rhythm. But I think that kind of speaks for itself. I do recommend finding a rhythm that works for you. See how many hours of sleep you normally get where you still feel good. You can look up so many things online and statistics on how many hours you need as a female, as a male, at what age group. But you can also just look at your own data from the past couple months, see where you had a really good night's sleep or you felt really good, and reflect, how much did I sleep that day? What did I do that night before I went to bed? What helped me? Those kinds of things. Not drinking too late at night. If you drink alcohol, I personally don't, but I know that when I did drink, I would have such a horrible night's sleep, and I would just sleep lighter, even if it wasn't too much. So those are all things that can help you, but prioritizing your sleep and taking a good look at your habits is always a good thing to do, I think. My bedtime routine kind of changes depending on the season. Sometimes I stick to it for a long time, sometimes it is very different within a week. Things that are important for me are journaling, doing some kind of wind down, doing my skincare before I get into bed, put my earplugs in, put my sleeping mask on, turn all the lights off, and go to bed. I try not to be on my phone in bed too much, but I fall in and out of that habit. I'm not here trying to be preachy or pretend like I'm a perfect person who has everything figured out, and I'm never on my phone before I sleep, and I never fall into a rabbit hole online before I go to sleep. Like, I'm just a girl, but I feel so good when I don't have my phone near the bed, so getting an alarm clock is on my list of things that I want to try. One of those that will wake you up with light or something, I don't know. But it just, staring at a screen before bed is just very, very often proven to not be beneficial for your sleep and to get your circadian rhythm in the right place. And then with the journaling, I just write about my day, and then I have a gratitude log where I write what I'm grateful for that day, and then I have a little habit tracker that I used for the entire month of July every day to just get an overview of what I was doing and how I was feeling that day. So I tracked habits like hydrating well, exercising, meditating, journaling, taking my vitamins, doing my affirmations. I was feeling really bad in June, I've talked about this, but having those tasks visual for me was so powerful that now I do the things mostly, and I don't need them, and I don't need to cling on to the affirmations anymore. Like, I am back on my feet. But doing that was so helpful. And it's a nice way for me to visualize my priorities. And at the end of the day, I can see, oh, I haven't done my affirmations, and I'll do them in bed, which is just a wonderful thing because I get into a much better mindset before sleep when I do them. I usually do them in the morning, but if I forget or skip out, it's okay. But yeah, I do that, and I think the most important thing is the gratitude. We all have our bad days, and they can be so dark and so sad, but even finding joy in those days or things to be grateful for, because there are always things to be grateful for, like a warm cup of tea in your hands, or seeing two birds playing together outside, or seeing a parent with a child having a fun interaction, or something small like that. I feel so much better in bed when I write about what I'm grateful for. And sometimes it's super random, and I'll have had a day and I'm like, I'm thankful for FaceTiming Nicole, or the fact that I have such a good friend, Sriracha, the birds outside, like super random things, but it's so nice to just write them down, no shame, just between you and the journal, and that makes me feel a lot better. And then when it's time to actually go to sleep, and when the voices are starting to come back, I can let them be there for a while, and then surrender to sleep. And this is where the guided meditations come in. As someone who would meditate often and has now made it a daily habit, pretty much, I'm now on vacation, it's much harder to keep it a habit. I'm just not making the time for it right now, which it's been so powerful for me to do a guided sleep meditation, which is why I started making them in ASMR, because I love them so much. And I think the combination of ASMR feelings with a guided sleep meditation is a beautiful relaxation technique. It just really helps you melt into sleep, which is so important. I don't think people realize the impact that surrendering has on your sleep, because very often you might recognize this. You're like, your fists are like clamped up in bed, or you're trying to find a different position and you're really like fussing over it and finding a new spot and kind of almost slamming your head into your pillow. But why are we getting all worked up and frustrated in this moment of pure relaxation and calm? There's nothing else you need to do other than lay there and be. But I think we all live very fast lives. There's a lot of stimuli the whole time, so when you slow down, it feels like your thoughts speed up, like when you're on a treadmill. And so, and like you come off the treadmill and it feels like you're still running. That's to me what it feels like when I lay down sometimes. But a guided sleep meditation or yoga nidra session gives your mind something to do while keeping you where you are, which is what I really like. I obviously love ASMR, and I talked about how I don't really watch it anymore before sleep. Sometimes I do when I'm really anxious and I just want the distraction from those thoughts, but I kind of want to be okay with being with my thoughts, and that's why I love guided sleep meditation so much, because they keep you there while you don't wander off too much. Like in the beginning, so often that will happen. That's why it takes practice. That's why it is a practice. Some days are better than others. Sometimes I will turn it off and be fussy and just watch ASMR, and I'm not able to get into the right headspace, and that's okay, because I have something else that will work for me, or sometimes it won't work and I get the sleeping anxiety of, oh, the hours are passing by. But what I've really learned is just how powerful it is to lay there and be still and let your body rest and recharge. Recharge that battery like I talked about earlier. Even if your mind is racing and you're not sleeping, I hope that this can be a comforting reminder to anyone. If you fuss over losing sleep, you're still resting. Not in the same way as sleep, and you won't feel as great as when you would have gotten a great night's sleep. I know. But it's not an all-nighter that you're pulling. Nothing's wrong. You're safe, Nothing incredibly bad is going to happen. And you're going to be okay. And realizing those things in those moments is really powerful. And then, for me, it also helps me to then get back to sleep. So, things I really like in guided meditations are the body scans, because it occupies your mind and you have a task to focus on. You're also consciously relaxing or just bringing attention to some part of your body. So instead of being in your head, you're in your body and you're moving from thinking into feeling. And that's often where the relaxation is, if not always. And then I really like the breathwork. Breathwork is such an amazing tool to get your nervous system calm, because sometimes your mind can be calm, but your body can be restless, Sometimes I'll be in bed and I'll feel like I want to jump out and move around, or I'm itchy, or whatever it may be. Breathwork is so powerful. My favorite one is the physiological sigh, which I've done multiple times, I think, in my meditations at this point, but it's taking a breath in through the nose, and then one more time to fill up completely, and then sigh out through your mouth. Even making a sound when you exhale is just so great for your nervous system. And doing that while remembering to feel yourself sink into your mattress as you breathe out. Those are the methods that really help me and that I can now implement into my sleeping ritual without having to listen to a meditation or without having to listen to ASMR. I will just do it because it'll just pop up in my brain to go do that. So I'm really proud of how much progress I made in my sleep and how much more able I am to surrender to that, even if it doesn't always work. Like, now I'm on vacation and I'm sleeping in hostels and Airbnbs and stuff like that. I'm on a road trip, so I'm in all kinds of different locations, which will just always throw off my routines, because I'm in a new place and I'm living out of a backpack, things like that. So then I know that watching ASMR helps, and so I prioritize just getting to sleep, and I will watch ASMR because I know it'll get me to sleep, and then once I'm asleep I'm pretty much okay. But if I don't, I'll be awake for a really long time. It just takes a little bit more consciousness, I guess, to do the breath work or, things like that. And I am just not doing that right now. And that's okay, because I'm just like, I need to get to sleep. I have a lot of things to do. You see how it fluctuates a little, where sometimes I really want to be so conscious and relaxed in that way, and sometimes I know I just kind of can't, and I'll go back to my old pattern of watching ASMR because I know that it works. And I think it's more that. I think it's more of an old pattern that I'm returning to, because it feels comfortable, more comfortable, and more familiar. So yeah. And then for sleep quality, like practical things, getting earplugs has been a game changer for me. I will either use the loop earplugs or the Alpine sleep earplugs. I love them both so much. And especially in hostels and stuff, I sleep wonderfully. And I use my Manta sleep mask to make things dark. Darkness helps create melatonin as well in your body, in your brain, which promotes sleep. So being in a dark space just will get you to sleep easier. Science proven fact, So taking the time, even if you're in bed, to get up, close the blinds, do the things, it just helps you so much. So it's so worth it to do it. And I think investing in a sleeping mask is worth every penny. I love the Manta ones. They sent one to me last year when I did a collaboration with them. And I've used them every day for over a year. They take the pressure off of your eyelids like just a general flat sleeping mask will do. And they have a really nice soft band around your head, and mine has audio so I can listen to ASMR with the sleeping mask, so I'm not like laying on an earplug. Just things like that. It's so much more comfortable, and I can take a nap during the day, put the mask on. When I have a migraine, I'll wear the mask. If I have those two things, I'm pretty much good to go, But I really recommend them if you have never tried it. It takes a little bit of getting used to, I feel like, even with the earplugs. Like, there's something in my ears and I can't hear my surroundings. But if you feel like you want to be alert all the time, maybe that's something to look into first. I have some friends who are like, I could never sleep with earplugs because I want to be alert, and I get that. I really do. You want to feel safe and you want to be aware of where maybe you have children and you want to be able to wake up for them, stuff like that. See what fits in your lifestyle, of course. But if I'm in bed and I'm trying to be aware of everything the whole time, I'm not gonna fall asleep, I think. And I'm already a light sleeper, so things will already kind of wake me up. And so getting those has changed everything for me. And with the sleep mask as well, because there's just something on your face, and it just takes a little getting used to, for me at least. So, but they are amazing, in my humble opinion. So, I think that I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover, from pre-sleep, during the day things, health things, routine things, practical things, mindset things. I hope that it was somehow still a little bit structured and easy to follow and not too chaotic for you. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have any tips on what you want to try. I think also things to look at are your pillows and your blankets, the temperature, the quality of what you are sleeping on. I have memory foam pillows and I love them a lot. I'm actually getting a new one very soon and I'm very excited to try it out, by a Dutch brand called Duur, and I will let you know. But yeah, those things also really change things for me, like what is my sleeping position, what pillow, what thickness works for me and my sleeping style, what mattress works for me and my sleeping style. I sleep on my stomach or on my side, so I have a little bit of a flatter pillow. Those kinds of things, just to feel more comfortable. I think that was the last thing that I wanted to say. I just mostly hope that you make the time to get enough hours of sleep and you're not, I hope that you say no to things because you need to get the good amount of sleep. I know it's not fun to not hang out with friends late at night, but if you have an early morning the next day, it's just worth it to go to bed and see them another time. Every once in a while, like, absolutely, we all do that, right? We want to have fun. But if it happens structurally and you're losing sleep over trying to do all these things, it's just so sad, because sleep is so important and powerful. Because, on a good night of sleep, unstoppable. Okay, so before I start rambling too much, I will link all the items that I mentioned, like the earplugs and stuff, in the description box below. Be sure to check out Aura and sign up. I could not recommend it more. It is such a huge part of my routine. I used to do their Yoga Nidra sessions by Sakib every night for months, and I still put it on for comfort. If I feel bad or I just want to use it, I don't know, it depends on the vibe, but and I still meditate with Aura pretty much every day. So join me on my challenge. We got each other's backs, and let me know how it goes. I'm thinking of you. I'm sending you lots of love, and I'm wishing you a very peaceful time as always. And I'll gladly see you in my next video. I'm gonna come close to you to give you a forehead kiss, okay? This is the fun part about this microphone.